Previously on We Teach.
I usually start my day around 6:30, and usually I have 12, 13-hour days. That's not uncommon. Today's a 13-hour day. I'm going to be giving a lot of kids extra help. I work basketball, I work the clock, the scoreboard, the book, and we've got a basketball game tonight, JV and varsity, so that'll be going on.
This is a really, really busy week. The entire week is going to be filled with after-school rehearsals, and the bottom line in all of this is to get the kids to understand that what they're doing now is something very important and very, very special in music making, and that is they're at the point of performing this music and moving people. If we in this last week can connect onto our music so that you internalize it, you guys are going to do an incredible job. Every piece of music is a story, and you got to get it across. And if you do that, you'll do something special.
There are some girls who are just very vocal and they're very social. So if you can help them maybe use those strengths of talking, or telling stories to each other, and attach that to the simple task of studying for a vocab test, make up a story about a word, make up a story about, the word history. Tell it to your friend. She's studying for the same test. Where are most of your words? In the back of your skull. And the only reason they're not coming to the forward is because you're not saying it. And for some reason, I think that saying things with you two is a very helpful thing, because that seems to be a strong part of who we are.
Today's the day of Seneca's Sophomore Cotillion. The cotillion starts at 7. It's over at 10:30. I'm anticipating that around 11 o'clock I will leave the school building for good. It's one of the longer days, but it's part of being a class advisor as well as an educator, and helping these kids to really make the most out of their high school experience. All right, this is our plan today. I know it's an exciting day with cotillion this evening. I'm excited as well. But we do have to take a test, in all seriousness. My Foods 1 classes are taking a test, not their favorite thing to do in a foods class, but they'll be taking a test on grains. So they'll be identifying all the parts of a whole grain and all the nutritional value in that grain. When they finish that, we're going to get an introduction to the new unit, which is dairy products. So they'll learn a little bit about liquid dairy and cheeses and all that good stuff. So as you are sitting there, your body is composed of X amount of milligrams of calcium. Believe it or not, the 1% circulating is the one that your body prioritizes. So this one right here is more important to your body. Your body's main priority is to make sure that your heart continues to beat. If your heart doesn't beat, game over. It doesn't matter how much is stored in your bones and teeth. It doesn't matter how white your teeth are or how strong your bones are, because your heart's not working. So your body always prioritizes this. That's why we need to make sure that our daily diets contain enough calcium. Some of the labs that we're going to do with this, for instance, next Wednesday when you're doing the yogurt smoothie, you're making a strawberry banana yogurt smoothie next week. And one of the things that we're going to talk about, the ingredients in that smoothie not only help you with maintaining this balance of calcium in your bloodstream and in your bones, but there's lots of other nutrients that come along with it. So we're going to be specifically talking about those nutrients. Just having milk is great. It gives you the calcium, it gives you vitamin D, it gives you some protein, but obviously you can't live on milk alone. So we'll be talking about the combination of ingredients that we have in our labs, the yogurt smoothies. We'll be talking about making the cheesecakes. Cheesecakes are a very rich protein and calcium. Even though they contain sugar, they're very, very good for you. If you're going to pick a dessert, go with cheesecake. When you have finished your calcium questions, there are 12. I need you to put your name on the front of this packet. Give it to me. I will return it on Monday. We're going to start working on the beginning of the packet on Monday.
For Lenape High School math teacher Tom Tamburello, classroom management is an essential part of every lesson.
There's just so much that encompasses keeping a classroom under control. If you want a well-managed classroom, you have to teach your students how to do the things that are going to be happening all the time. How do students ask to go to the bathroom? How do students hand in work if they were absent? How do students get work if they were absent? How do students ask a question? Do they have to raise their hand? Can they ask a partner? So part of classroom management involves teaching students the things, the ways of behaving in a classroom. And anything you can do routine-wise to keep the classroom managed will help you get more time in for instruction. So clear your desks of everything, please, except for a calculator and a pencil or something to write with, and let us do this.
While the students work on their tests, Tom begins grading their review sheets to see how much extra credit each student will earn toward their grade. Frank Guerrini's music theory students are learning the difficult task of analyzing and writing their own music.
Let's run it. They're doing something that is really, it's a really complicated business. And we try to do it so that they understand what they're doing structurally. And we try to change things up with them. We try to keep them engaged so that it's not all the same thing all the time. So that they're doing the same subject, they're covering the same material, but we're going at it from different angles. So it keeps them kind of engaged into it and keeps their minds focused rather than, which is easy to do in music theory, to become bleary-eyed with it, just kind of glaze over. You look at this melody. What do you see in this melody that's going to help you create a chord progression that would underscore the counterpoint, and then what also is going to help you write the counterpoint? What in this melody structurally do you see that could be helpful? The sequence, it continues a downward third. Downward third. All right, so if I would say to you, what would be the motive that really sews this melody together?
Skip down a third?
Down a third. Down a third is rampant. Look at this. Down a third, down a third, down a third, down a third, down a third. It's big. And that's all in the space of 4 measures of music. When you've got that much imitation, they got to say, well, that's an important interval. That's an important unit of melody. They've been assigned a number of counterpoints to write. They've gotten progressively better. So from that, I'm understanding that they're catching on to the technique of writing it. Oren, I looked at your example. You know what I saw right away?
What?
Parallel fifths.
Oh, really?
I did.
So
I'll show you when you get it back tomorrow.
Okay. All right.
Do you play yours?
Sometimes.
Oh, it's a good idea too. Yeah.
Actually, Mr. Boyle played mine.
Oh, okay. When, on Friday? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll show it to you tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. Good. You're welcome.
For Shawnee English teacher Tim Moran, today's mythology lesson will be about how relationships affect the balance of power.
I see mythology as an overview, so we learn the specific stories, but again, what's the point of having the story? So if you can represent, the power structure of things, and you can say, well, these stories represent these relationships, and again, like a first grader and the relationships that first grader has, then we'll put, an ancient person, and then we'll put a person who believes in a mythological structure, and then we'll finally talk about, ourselves. So it runs through. We'll have, Zeus, Demeter, and how they interact with each other. And how does a person who believes in that structure relate to those powers in those relationships? You have relationships with people. I have relationships with people. We have relationships. Our relationships have relationships. Our country has relationships. So where does it start and how does it work? So if I'm in, what do you want to take? We'll take any, my first sample was a first grader, okay? And first graders are great because, they're first graders. So first grader. And he has people who are in relationships that are very different, I think. So who do we have? Who are the relationships that a first grader might enter?
Siblings, teacher, crush. Friends, classmates, bullies. Oh my gosh, wait, what are those? Peer mediators. It's like fifth graders. No, peer mediators are coach for what? Soccer.
Now, so when you look at it and you think, okay, all those things have power. So when you have power over someone or you're in a relationship, is there necessarily power? So those are questions you think about. And is there usually power in a relationship? Does there have to be? Okay, if there's no power, right, there's no energy in a relationship, what's the relationship?
You mean like one person has power over another?
Now, that's what you said. I didn't say that. So you're saying that power is one person over another. And how would you know that person has power over another? Yes, you do. So when you think about people, how do you know that one person has power over another?
Like in a relationship.
Like in anything.
Your boyfriend is the power over you.
How do you know?
How they interact. They stay enforced.
Okay, and what tends to, like, literally, how would you know if you were observing?
If they would tell me something, they would follow exactly what they say.
So it tends to be someone does something. Okay, right. So we make the person do something, we make the person say something. Okay, so there is power. How could you have a relationship and not have power, one over the other? Would that be a relationship? What would that even be? Go ahead.
In those friendship relationship, is both people having power over each other? I mean, it's only in like abusive relationships. Is it just one person having all the power?
You would think that, right? So, and that's exactly what we're talking about. So we have these lines of direction. This kid is deeply connected. He's in first grade. That's a lot of connections in first grade. And I have to say that, are these interrelated also? Exactly. So I'm not going to draw the lines. I'm sure these are related, right? So we have to figure out what nature of power there is and what direction it flows. Okay? So we start with coercive power. And you know vocab word says what? Coercive? Coercive means? All right, it's by force. It's by force. So I have to force someone to do something. I'm gonna make you do it. Does every first grader, you have to force a first grader to do stuff? What? So a bully. So I go like this. I say, that bully has coercive power. I'm going to label that with a C. See? So the direction of that goes that way. Does he ever have coercive power over a bully? No. Maybe in a movie, that he stands up, and he says that thing, or maybe his power of persuasion eventually can turn that around. I don't know if that would be coercive, but it's a forceful thing. And how do you know the bully has coercive power? The first grader would behave a certain way. What does he do? All right, how would you know that? So he would do the thing the bully says do, or he would run away, or he would hide. There'd be some action to prove that he does that thing. All right, good. Now, anybody else have coercive power over this kid? If you don't, we'll hurt you somehow. Who said both ways? Go ahead. Where? Which one?
Like the puppy and stuff.
All right.
And the sibling.
Definitely. Did you ever notice, like, real little kids with puppies or kittens? It's sometimes, now, can you see a pattern with this poor kid? Can you see where this kid, at the end of the day, how he might feel? And sometimes little kids, they could be mean to their puppies, can't they? And why is that? Exactly. So sometimes you can channel that way. Why might a bully become a bully? Because maybe he's a person who suddenly find someone else that he can move that onto. Maybe he doesn't have something like that, all right? So that relationship makes sense. So if you like deconstruct somebody, you're looking at, why would you do that? Say, why would you possibly do that? Maybe you find out why they do that. All right, good.
Check your email. Check your mailbox. Submit attendance for 6 classes. Grade papers. Give extra help. And do it all in 42 minutes. That's just some of what teachers accomplish during prep periods each day. Today, Tom Tamburello spends part of his reviewing with a student preparing to take a makeup test.
So one part of the test is just being able to get critical values using your calculator and these charts. So that's one part. Part 2 is calculating confidence intervals. So you need to be able to read a problem and figure out if it's a z interval, a t interval, a 1 prop z interval, or a chi-square interval.
Tom explains the different types of questions that will appear on the test and the steps needed to solve them.
And then the other number would be plugged in there, and you would just calculate it, work it out, and then at the end you'd have to square root it because it did say standard deviation, so you'd have to square root at the end. So I mean, my advice to you, seriously, would be to do these 16 problems, because it's all going to be reading. You're going to have to read the problem and know if it's a sample size problem, a confidence interval, or some other kind of question. I mean, no rush. As long as you get it done by the end of this week, I don't want you to just feel like you have to knock it out and get it done for the sake of getting it done. I want you to do well. Oh, you've got a test to do too? Well, then you got to pick and choose, I guess. Yeah. You know, which one is going to be the one you're ready for or not ready for. I mean, I don't know. If you wanted to spend the rest of this period doing some of these, checking your answers, and if you felt confident, you can come to my room after school and take it, because I'll be there with other students.
I think so.
So do you want to do that?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it out here? So if you have questions, you can come inside, or do you want to go back to study hall? What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll go to study hall.
Okay. So if you want, I'll be in my room after school if you want to take that test. Okay?
Thanks.
You're welcome.
After reviewing for the test, it's time to do some more grading.
I thought I would like grading papers when I first became a teacher, and I did for about a month. And then it's just like never ending, constantly. Students that are absent. So this morning, grading makeup papers. This afternoon, more students are coming to makeup tests. I always give tests back the next day. So, and the reason I do that is because they need the feedback right away while the material is fresh in their head. So my goal always is to do whatever it takes to get tests back right away. So, teaching is not all about just going in front of the room and telling the students something. It's trying to make the information stick, and then all the paperwork and all the makeup stuff. And it's just so many of my colleagues put in so much time before and after school working with students. If a student misses class, they're sick, it's up to us to get them caught up. So there's a lot more to teaching than just telling kids how to do something. This one got 100 on that page. Must have a good teacher.
I have a great mythology class. They are very involved. They interact. You just can't stop them from being part of it. But we've been talking about, the general progression of, I guess, cultures and ideas and how they go together and to form a big picture. So today was one of those days where, you kind of reverse it and you look at people instead of the group. And this is really interesting, okay? Because the others make kind of sense. This one is a little confusing. This is referent, right? Remember it? And if there's another way you can explain this, help me out here, because this can be confusing to people, okay? So referent is when people do things and the power is simply, you like that person. Does Justin Bieber know that we exist? Do we do things because we love Justin Bieber? Yes. Cut our hair like Justin Bieber? Like Justin Bieber? Beep it up. So when you look at reference, I do things for that person. My behavior is specific just because I like that person or I want to be like that person. That person may never know I'm alive. Huh? Now, if I buy, I don't even know what I would buy. As an adult, do I do anything because I want someone to like me or be like somebody? I don't even think I do. I don't think I care anymore. Yeah.
Would you go for a business lunch or something? You'd buy them.
Business lunch is good. There you go. Good. So we watched Celebrity Apprentice. Do you see the Trump show? So you wear certain suits. You want to fit into that culture. You might wear certain colors to fit into that culture. So you want to be like it. Someone said it earlier. You know, you'll do it just so you fit in. But when you look at like the structure of ancient man, you know, a lot of this exists the same way. But the monsters weren't under the bed. They were, you know, a hungry winter, you know, a dangerous thunderstorm. You still had things you had to control. And as this relationship goes, and we really didn't put arrows on the other way, did we? So we would take another color. It'd be cool if it had another color, wouldn't it? Red. Does the first grader have power over anybody? So parents, you think parents do stuff for the kid just because they like the kid? You think Grammy and Grampy do stuff? Exactly. Mom, don't worry. You think the kid controls the grandparents and knows they love them? And he's a punk, that kid. He puts on the face, the grandma, grandpa face, and they just fall for it. You think teachers do stuff for kids just because they like the kid? Why not? There you go. All right, so it goes two ways. Good. So we're going to look at that next week, and we'll do it. But what I want you to do is, you know who it's going to be, right? You know who it's going to be? Exactly. So this one, it's just you, and for the next couple seconds, like literally 12. I guess we'll just take it home. You're in the center. And whee! And just see how many different you know what? There are boxes there, but you don't have to follow that. You probably won't. I've been here for 27 years, and it really is. It's a point of pride for me to just be part of something that is so big and so consistently. I mean, I can't tell you that every day. This is a typical day. What you saw was that's how they react. I ask, they answer. You know, they just talk to each other, they help each other out. That's been 27 years. So to me, that's remarkable. And you know, whatever small part any of us plays, it's just really just a great day for me every single day in my career.
One time, everybody. One time, that's it. Everything a vowel. And the first note has to be very personal. It has to be very, very inside, right? It's not for everybody to hear. With the 13th period class, the expectation levels are the highest. So it becomes really scrutinized and very demanding in terms of the result performing behavior that they give to us, what we hear from them. You're making music at a really high level, but it doesn't take much to change the making music at a really high level to it sounding just so-so. You know, it's just that one little bit of unfocused. That's all it takes. You're singing a lot of notes that if you're not really thinking about it and they don't connect, you're not connected with the instrument, it can change. It can change the whole quality of a performance. One little difference, one little bit of time that your mind is not focused into making the music that you're supposed to be making. It takes a lot of thought. It really is hard. Music's hard. And then you know what the biggest thing is? It's so hard. But then when you do it and you do it well, it just sounds, people say, oh gosh, that was just so easy. You know, people listen to it, it's so simple. Because you give the impression of simplicity. But to get simplicity, tough. You know, we, I think, have ingrained that from the beginning of the year, that there is a certain level of performance that is expected of them, and that our expectations are high. And as a result, their expectations are too. And we're very demanding. We're very demanding. Nothing gets by. Whatever the problem is with altos, we got to get it fixed fast. Sing the right note. Do it again. Come on. No. It's got to be beautiful. And it's not lumiere. Des lumières. It's got to be so beautiful. You sing stick figures. You know, des lumières dans la neige, mille étoiles du berger. Nothing is ever done half-heartedly. Nothing is ever done to say, well, it was okay. No, do it again. Through an ouvale, please. It's quiet, it's you. It's all you, it's you all by yourself. It's you by yourself. Inside you, your mind, your heart. You guys getting so close to this music, don't stop now. Just when you're almost at the door to get into making something, don't stop now. And it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that it's a rehearsal during the school day or it's the end product of the rehearsal, a performance, so that their performances can move people and affects the audience in an expressive way. That's what we're after. 1, 2, 3, 1, and tenor. Smile, ooh, tenor. More alto. Basses. Relax, guys, nice. Oh. Basses, pull men. Pull, come on! Alto. Good guys. Everybody look at everybody. So that's for altos. Then you got to get everybody ready for that final chord. All right, good. Deck the hall, please. Yeah, much better. All right, can we try? All right, get ready to jump on. Fa, la, 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 fa, la, la. 1, 2, 1, oh, fa. All right, you guys are fired. Bring the other tenors in. You weren't ready to do it. You weren't ready. This is a really difficult beginning. If you're not ready, it's going to be Major Catastrophia. Fa, la, 1, 2, 1, oh.
Tis the season to be jolly, fa la 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 la, la la la. Fill the big cup, drain the barrel, la 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 la. The big cup, fluff, 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 fa la 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 la, and la 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 la. See the flowing glory, la 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 la. Strike a vibe and join the la 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 la. Follow me in merry measure, fa la 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 la. I see the beauty's treasure, fa la 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 la.
At Lenape, the school day may be over, but for math teacher Tom Tamburello, after school is a time for many of his students to make up work, make up tests, and get extra help.
For this one, you were correct. You had to say yes, the probabilities add to 1, but you also had to say that these numbers were not negative or more than 100%, each individual number. Okay. It had to be on there. So this was 12.4 divided by root 20, okay, whatever that is. But it wasn't 14.4. I don't know if you remember how you got that or not. But okay, not bad. Let's see if you had that part right. That was right, and you even knew to subtract that. So you just looked at the wrong thing. So it should have been that. And then here I think it's the wrong formula because here what you, oh no, wait till you see this. You did the right thing. 0.6% is 0.06. So I didn't take off full credit there, but so. Are you taking the test? Yeah. Okay, so you can figure out, let me get her a test and however you want to classify those errors. This is what it's like after school. We have people coming from all the different classes, which is always a lot of fun. We try and accommodate everybody. Lauren's taking advantage of the fact that I let students make up tests if they did not do as well as they could have. So she corrected all of her mistakes, and we went over them yesterday. So here's a different version of the test. So you learn from your mistakes and will do better. You're welcome. Now what do we have over here?
What was the power number and the fractions? Was it a fraction that can't be simplified?
Any kind of fraction.
Any?
Yes, any kind of fraction. Okay, number 9. The percentile is you take the number you have, which is 31. You count how many numbers are less than that. It's only 1. You add 0.5, so it's 1.5, and then you divide by the number of numbers that there were. So it's another formula that you didn't know or have on your sheet.
Okay.
So you probably think, you know what, I know these words. You knew them on the review sheet, so you probably think that you knew them for the test. But make sure if it's on the review sheet, it'll appear on the test. Are you going to the basketball game tonight?
Yes, sir.
All right, I'll see you there.
Yeah, I thought I put them on, but I guess I didn't.
So, I mean, it doesn't really seem that bad when you look at it, but unfortunately it doesn't add up to like the nicest grade. One thing I do like to do is I actually keep a list of everybody that stays after school for help. That way sometimes parents will contact you and they'll actually say, did so-and-so come? What time did they leave? So I actually am going to write down that we worked on the exam and she left at about 2:50. Rachel is just finishing up her test on Chapter 1 for Enriched Math. She's leaving at about 2:50. I'm kind of just finishing up trying to grade some of these makeup tests. I'm going to put them in the computer, and then in about 10-15 minutes I have to head down to the gym to work the JV and varsity boys basketball games tonight.
The Seneca school day has also come to an end. But for Lynne Ritter and the sophomore class officers, preparation for tonight's cotillion is just beginning.
I have students from my executive homeroom that will be meeting me in the cafeteria. We will be getting ready. It's probably going to take us 3 or 4 hours to transform the cafeteria into fire and ice, which is our theme for this year. I'm hoping that at least by 5 o'clock the kids can be done and go home, get dressed, do their hair, whatever they got to do, and get back here. The guests will start arriving probably between 6:30 and 7, so we have to monitor them coming in and make sure everybody has their ID and all that good stuff. So it will be a crazy, mad 4 hours of scheduling to get everything done. What's next on the list? What's next on the list?
Well, everyone has.
All right, we can't do any of this black stuff and the fire ring stuff at the entrance until they get here with the fire ring stuff. So that we're gonna stop. Candle centerpieces, we have to wait till the tables are out. There's, we're gonna get 15 tables over here. You can do the food tables though.
Okay.
So there's gonna be 4 altogether. Let me get you tablecloths.
Okay.
We have to figure out what we're doing with those. Can you guys take those out of the bag and lay them out long ways so that they're not tangled, and then we can figure out exactly what we're gonna do with them. I'm thinking we should hang them along the end of the windowsill. And then with the silver above it, it'll reflect and be really cool. All right, once they get these 15 tables out, then you can alternate. There's light blue and dark blue. These are gonna go on the front. They're gonna get taped. This should fit all the way across. So you'll do 3 swags of this. Like that. So there's 3 of those, that'll work for that. So this is what I'm thinking. So tape it along here like this. There's like 3 strands. So we should definitely get this whole window done.
Okay, they're going to get the tape.
Okay. All right, but so you know what you're doing. I need massive amounts of assistance. I need a ladder.
All right. Why are we here? What are we doing? Vocab? Okay. Everybody's coming in for different reasons, you know what I mean? I'm assuming it's, you want to get either a higher grade or you want to study less time. It doesn't matter which one it is, okay? So we're going to first say that how many of these things do you do on a regular basis? This is a list from other people. These are working for other students. So when you go through, like really seriously, how many do you do? On a regular basis. Just put a little check by anything you do. And if you don't get something, like you don't know what it means, here.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so you both skip stuff right off the bat, okay? And I think that's a biggie, okay? Do you think that helps you?
I guess most of the time. I think it depends on the word. Like if it's a really difficult word and like I don't really understand it from the start, then like saying it in my own words won't really help me. But if it's kind of like a word that I do kind of understand mostly, then like saying it over again will help me remember.
Now see, I would have said that if I really don't get it the first time around, I would have had to change it into my own words. Like I would have had to figure out some other way to say it that does make sense to me. Go ahead.
Well, I feel like the tests are like memorization. Like you memorize a word, you memorize the synonym.
Simplest thing around.
Yeah. So like.
But now you also have to know what they mean. So if you put it in your own words and say, oh, this means that, and then go back, and maybe if you just reverse it, just like make more flexible with it. You know what I mean? Do you tend to study in the same direction? Word, definition, synonym, antonym, word, definition.
Yeah.
Mix it up a little bit.
Okay.
It helps some people it doesn't. Ooh, got a star on that one. Nice. And that's, you know what, that's a no-brainer. You could add that with no problem whatsoever.
I would just send myself text messages.
Why not?
What would they say?
They would say, hey, how are you? Did you study for that test yet? Like, I can set my phone to, for alarms, repeating daily.
I never check my phone.
Well, then that wouldn't work for you. Do you check your phone?
Yeah, usually.
Okay, so you can send yourself a text reminder or a text alarm. And my phone goes off maybe 3 or 4 times a day, and I look at it, I'm like, what the heck? And I hit it, and I go, oh yeah. And I have to send myself, pick up my son. he'll sit there waiting for you for an hour. So I send myself a message, and it just comes through. So if I send myself vocab words every hour on the hour, I look at it, oh, it's a vocab word. So repetition, right? That's all you want, to see the word as often as you can, so your brain just keeps popping, popping, popping.
Yeah.
If you do it all in 2 hours, you're going to just retain less. Water's going to run off the edge. And what are we talking about? How much? 2%? Where are you? Not a lot, right? How much you need to get the grade you want? Are you getting the grade you want now?
No, I want to be
Okay, there you go.
I didn't know what I got when you told me I was on the list. So.
Oh, no, you did okay. How'd you do? So 2%. So when you're at 2%, okay, bump it a little bit. And that's all we're looking at. So second half of the year, nothing but hundreds. Got me? So anyone who doesn't get 100, I take 30 points off. Is that mean?
That doesn't work.
Why? Just get 100.
Yeah, but then
All right, I won't do that.
Okay.
20 points.
No.
Okay. It's done. So all right. So we'll go, take a look at the bottom of this list. Okay, you got one, take a look at the bottom and think about it. So next week we'll start talking. So you're good, you're gonna do 11 and 12 this weekend.
This what?
11 and 12, you're starting to.
This week?
What are you doing this weekend?
Well, when's the test?
Does it matter?
Yes.
It only matters to procrastinator
When does my
girl.
5 days
It doesn't
start?
matter. Only procrastinator girl asks what day it is.
8 days from my yesterday.
You got to get in your time scooter and go back a day.
I'm not gonna hit it.
You got to do it. I'm sorry, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, 11 and 12.
After school at Cherokee, it's an opportunity for the guys to show their stuff in the hopes of landing a solo in next week's concert.
All right, so listen, who's doing "O Holy Night" for me? So I got Yeah?
What's the how does this work?
It's an F.
I don't remember.
Sure.
Oh, night divine, oh, night.
Okay.
Oh, that's it? Wait, what about sopranos will sing?
No.
Fine, yell.
Oh, night,
Yeah. All right. So there are 3 guys who want to do this? So you want to do? You want to do 2. So, hey, how about if you go first? Can you go from fall on your knees? Fa. Keep everything bright forward vowel sounds, right? Fa, 2, 3, and go. On your knees.
Oh, hear the angel voices.
Oh, na.
Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born.
That was very good. Yeah, very good. Kevin, may I hear? Oh, no. Fall. Hey, fall on your knees. That's the melody. When you guys sing the tenor part, it's fall on your knee. Fall on. Ready, Kevin. Wop, bop, bop, go.
Fall on your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night Christ was born.
Good.
I want to challenge Josh.
We should have everyone else go first. Voice is like butter. It is, isn't it?
Harrison, you try. 4, 2, 3, and.
On your knee. I'm sorry. Sorry, I was doing the tender part. Excuse me. Sorry. Okay.
Okay. 2, 3, and.
On your knees. Oh, hear the angel voices. Oh, night divine. Oh, night when Christ was born.
Okay, you do the last phrase first. Go.
Oh, night.
We're a week and a half away from concert. I'm pretty confident that we're going to have this program together and really present an excellent program. As far as the solos, they are still right now up in the air. There are a couple of more female voices that I did not get to hear that I will hear tomorrow, and then hopefully by Wednesday we have the solos all set so that I have a full week to work with whoever is going to do the solos so that we can really make them very secure, very confident in the number. I think that we are well on our way to getting everybody on board with what really needs to be done in order to make our concert a success.
I need people who have free hands. You guys have free hands? Let's go get the chafing dishes for the table. gotta do this like we did over there. So can you go in the bins and get another set of lights like this and bring it over to where I had that other tool? No, because it won't stay. We're gonna leave the red. I think we can get the red to stay, but this isn't staying. So I'm gonna pull this like I did under there with the lights underneath it and then have the blue light behind it shooting straight up the wall. All right, what do we got left? For what?
Mrs. Ritter, are we still having the spotlights straight over here too?
Do we want to? Is that staying up?
I think it's kind of better if we have it over there too, it's easily.
Okay, I'm good with that. There's plenty of tool. The lift, but they have to do it. So you have to figure out exactly what you want to do and then send them up there to do it. So you just want to go like that? Yeah. Okay. I'm good with that.
So it's about 10 minutes before game time. I'm doing the book today. Sometimes I do the scoreboard and the clock. I also do some announcing. With the book, we just have to keep track of player statistics, how many points they score, how many fouls they get, and keep a running total of the score. Then the opposing team will have somebody keeping their book, and hopefully the book will match the scoreboard, and then the officials and everybody will be happy. Thank you very much. Yep. The book is ready to go for JV, and should be an interesting game.
As the Lenape JV boys game gets underway, Tom Tamburello settles in for a night full of hoops and hardwood.
10 for 3. Yes, 10 for 3. $33. 2.
Warrior high post.
15 for 2. 50 for 2. And count it, 15 for 2. All right, we got 13 to 10. Everything's looking good.
As the first quarter ends at Lenape, finishing touches are being made to the Seneca cafeteria ahead of tonight's Sophomore Cotillion.
Decorating for the cotillion began immediately after 11:12. Everybody had a job, everybody got right to work, and at 6:55 we're putting the finishing touches on for the guests to start arriving at 7.
Red 10.
Red, 1-0, red.
And then we'll hear the next call.
At Lenape, the varsity action is underway, and oftentimes things can get a little heated.
You're in my game now. I understand that, but I'm not going to get it right. Get it right.
3 red. That's his 5th. That's 5. 10 to 2. He made both. He made 2. So it's 48. He made 2. Full timeout at 1:53.
Why don't you take one of these and fill one of those hotel pans with this? Yeah. Grab see if there's pincers in here. I'll use this. Be careful. I have servers out there, like pincers to serve it. And once we get these 3 filled, we're going to take them out there and put them in the dining room. So far, so good. We have 209 in attendance, which is a nice number for a cotillion. They all seem to be having a good time. Food's going well. We're not running out of anything. Dance floor is hopping, so that's all we can hope for.
While the cotillion is in high gear, Tom Tamburello awaits the final buzzer so he can begin to put the wraps on what has been a very long day.
54 to 39 is correct. Now for adding it all up. $45.39, perfect, it adds up. So the book is done. This is how we wrap up the day. It's like the rodeo. There we go. Put some chairs away and we'll be done. Been here 13 hours. We're going to be back here in 11 hours. Go home, plan a few lessons for tomorrow. As soon as they give us the okay, I'm going to go back to my classroom actually and get some stuff to take home for the evening. And that's pretty much it. So that's the day in the life of a teacher here.
All the kids have smiles on their faces. They're all excited, they're all dancing, they're all having a great time, and we've created a great memory for them, first of many at Seneca High School. As an advisor, that's what you hope for. You hope to see the kids having a good time and enjoying it, and it's been fun. I'm ready for bed, but it's been fun.
We're good? All right, I'm gonna go back to my classroom, and I'm gonna go to my car, and that's gonna be it.
Thank you.
See you later.
Being a teacher takes time. Time to prepare, time to engage, and time to positively impact the lives of students. For these teachers, the day is over, but their respite will be short-lived. For in just a few hours, it will be time to come back and do it all again. Next time on We Teach.
I think that they have really come a long way, even from the rehearsal last week. What we need to do now is to get them tonight in the right frame of mind so that they're ready to share this music with an audience.
Today in health class, we're going to be doing what we call the AIDS experiment. It gives the students an opportunity to see how quickly an STD or HIV can spread. The kids are pretty shocked. Could this be a scenario that could happen if we all went and got HIV tested? Absolutely.
The technology in my room, I feel like I'm drenched in it at times. I feel that the information's out there. The key is to show them where to find the right information.
This is a tough situation you've put yourself in. It's heartbreaking for me because I've tried leveling with them. I've even helped them, stepped in to help the communication along in order to get them to the point where they're at least getting back on track. I can't stress enough that it needs to get done today. I won't let a student fail.